Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TEW Local to Global 1987. We're back with some GCW, and we are here on the March 31st episode of GCW Fuel. And we've got a great show tonight. It's the fallout of March Massacre, but we're also going to be booking the April 1st Rival TV. So, pre-show match, we got a 4-on-4 tag match. Because Saturday Night's Wrestling is no longer on air, we have more space for pre-show matches. We have to, give the lower card guys a chance to develop. So Gato and Jado team up with the Hardys, and those two teams are actually pulling decent numbers. They're mid-60s, apart from Matt, who's trailing a little bit behind, but he's doing all right. The Godwins are low 40s, mid-40s, which is whatever, and Bariquas are just garbage. But Gato and Jado, the Hardys, they're looking good. They're going to benefit a lot from the brand split because the tag team division is not very developed, I want to say. So those two teams are definitely going to benefit a lot from the brand split in 1998. We've got Mark Merrow versus Steve Blackman, and this actually did fairly well. Blackman gets a 60 thanks to the chemistry boost, and Merrow gets a 55. So good for Steve Blackman getting a victory here over Mark Merrow on the pre-show. And then, main event of the pre-show, we've got Juvi versus Chavo, and Juventud just keeps pulling in and just keeps putting those numbers in. Gets an 84 here against Chavo. Chavo also a decent competitor. And thanks to that Juvi driver, LWO's Juventud gets the victory. Gets an 81. So we open the show with Shawn Michaels in the ring. He says he is not the commissioner. He is not a referee. He is a wrestler. And the Syndicate, Jesse Ventura, The Rock, two members of the four of Syndicate, they come out and they want Shawn to join the Syndicate. And tonight, Shawn Michaels will team with The Rock in the main event. So it gets a 100. We open the show with Bradshaw versus Kendall Windham, and Bradshaw gets the victory with that powerbomb. This is our car crash match, and did alright. Gets a 70. As the Bradshaw push continues. Raven and Canyon cut a backstage promo. Canyon has a match against the Hardcore Champion for the title next week. 62. D'Lo Brown promo off the win off Stevie Ray, and he announces that the Nation of Domination has been disbanded. It's over. Nation is done. Gets a 61. Rey Mysterio gets a victory over Chris Candido thanks to that springboard Hurricane Rana. Gets an 81. And Rey with a 92. Candido with a 68 as this feud continues to develop. Undertaker and Kane cut a promo, and they say that, Undertaker talks, Kane just stands there menacingly. But Undertaker says that it was Paul Bearer who burned down their parents' house, and now Paul Bearer is on their hit list. So 78. DDP and Brian Pillman are cutting a backstage promo. They are facing Shawn Michaels and The Rock in tonight's main event in a tag match, so that should be fantastic. Mankind gets a victory over Ahmed Johnson next, thanks to that double arm DDT in 646. This gets a 70, and afterwards he cuts a promo. He is coming for Shawn Michaels and The Rock. He will get his hands on them. Alright, DX is cutting a promo. Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, Triple H, and Chris Jericho and Chris Candido come out, followed by Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. And next week we're going to have a 6-way tag title match. It's going to be the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg versus Candido and Jericho versus Kidman and Mysterio. And that's next week. So 71. BPI is cutting a promo next. Just realized, did I do 4 promos? No, I did 3 promos in a row. Yeah. BPI is cutting a promo next. Battle Pro Initiative. We've got Eddie, Dean, Lance, and Satoshi Kojima and Teddy. And Prodigy come out. Booker T, Chris Benoit, and Perry Saturn. And we're going to see next week a rematch between Booker T and Eddie Guerrero for the Intercontinental Championship. Booker lost the IC title to Guerrero last night in a fatal 4-way, which also included Chris Benoit and Lance Storm. Eddie pinned Storm to win the IC title. So next week, Booker versus Eddie for the Intercontinental Championship in a singles match this time. And then we've got our main event. Shawn Michaels and The Rock get the victory over DDP and Brian Pillman when Shawn pinned DDP with the Sweet Chin Music. And this did an 82, so I was expecting a little better. DDP was the weak link, which is what I expected. And afterwards, Shawn Michaels hits The Rock with the Sweet Chin music to cement that he is not going to be joining the syndicate. So it gets a 90, proving our popularity in 34 regions. We get to see what our profit for the month is as our popularity continues to grow in the British Isles, all over the US, in Mexico, Europe, and Japan. The plan for Ignition, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the plan for the brand split and Ignition, the second show, it's going to be a TV deal with NBC Network. So we're going to have enormous coverage in Canada and in the US for Ignition, while Fuel stays on, I think we're on Univision, which will keep our exposure in Mexico, which means that we'll have coverage in nearly every region of the game. Last out at 2, Jaddo's a star in the making. Pillman talks well, I agree. It's funny that The Rock is saying, like, Pillman, you should give Pillman opportunities when Pillman is the longest reigning champ, is multiple time champ. The Rock has been on top for a way shorter time period than Brian Pillman has. So last month, made $471,000. Them taxes go crazy. $6 million in taxes. The hell is miscellaneous? What are we spending? This is ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. Whatever. Our next Championship Wrestling is Breaking the Law. It's going to be on April 27th. And that's it for GCW. The 6-man tag titles are going to be fizzled out soon. The Rock is the champ. Chris Jericho is still the champ. Farouk is defending the Hardcore title next week. So is Eddie. Perry Sanders is a TV champ. Outlaws are tag champs, also defending them next week. So we're done with GCW. Let's go over to Rival Pro. What do we have this episode? Oh, okay, this seems like a fun one. Alright, let's get to booking the show. We're starting off with an angle, as we normally do, with Johnny Ace and Buff Bagwell, the new tag team champions, right? Yep. Alright, Shane Douglas and Jerry Lynn are going to come out, followed by Disco Inferno and Mike Awesome, the Disco Storm. So Ace and Bagwell promo. Lynn, come out. Disco Storm, come out. Give them 13 minutes. Okay. We're going to have a singles match. It's going to be Goldberg versus Big Vito. Give that around 2 minutes with Goldberg getting the domination, clean pinfall win. Afterwards, we're going to have Edge. We're going to have Christian. Have Goldberg. So Edge and Christian attack Goldberg with the chairs. Goldberg, no cells. So yeah, Edge and Christian are going to come down to the ring. They're going to hit Goldberg with steel chairs, and Goldberg is just going to stand there and absorb them. We're going to have the Sultan. I think that's what I wanted. Alright, he's going to accept Steven Richards' challenge. Backstage it can be pre-taped. That's fine. We're going to have a singles match. It's going to be X-Pac, who is challenging for the world title in the future. He's taking on Taka Michinoku, and Taz is going to join commentary. we're going to have Paul Jones. He's going to announce a Battle Royal next week. Winner is added to the 4-way TV title match at Ring Wars. I can be backstage. Alright, our main event, we're going to do a tag match. It's going to be Disco Inferno, Mike Awesome versus Shane Douglas and Jerry Lynn. And Mike Awesome is going to be getting that win. So we're starting off with the tag team champions Buff Bagwell and Johnny Ace in the ring. They're cutting a promo on winning the tag team titles when Shane Douglas and Jerry Lynn, the former champions, come out, followed by the number one contenders Mike Awesome and Disco Inferno. And the Disco Storm and Douglas and Lynn have a little bit of a confrontation because although Mike Awesome and Disco earned the opportunity to face the tag champs at a later date, Lynn and Douglas feel that they should be challenging next since they are the former champions. So to solve this issue, both teams, because they're both faces, agree. Both teams are faces. They agree to have a tag match tonight. The winners receiving the next tag title shot. Goldberg gets a victory over Vito. Not much to say. Goldberg just keeps steamrolling opponents. Edge and Christian come out, hit Goldberg with chairs. Goldberg no-sells. Not much to say. The Sultan cuts a backstage promo. He accepts Steven Richards' challenge for a match at Ring Wars. X-Pac gets a victory over Taka Michinoku thanks to that tombstone. Paul Jones announcing the Battle Royal next week, with the winner being added to the Fatal 4-Way for the new Rival Pro Television Championship. Currently in the match is Goldberg, Edge, and Christian. So whoever wins the Battle Royal next week will be added to that match. Main event, Disco Storm gets a victory over Shane Douglas and Jerry Lynn when Mike Awesome pinned Jerry Lynn with an awesome bomb. Gets a 57, not too shabby. And yeah, it's a good show. I'm satisfied with that. Alright, so now, before I end this episode, I have to look over the GCW roster and decide who I want to send down to Rival Pro, because I no longer have Saturday Night's Wrestling. So I might as well just... Oh, Larry Zbyszko to retire. It's not good for WCW. And by the way, WWF has been falling dramatically. And so has WCW. If you look at their size, like WCW has like greatly fallen. Oh, 5 points, not that bad. Yeah. They're still making money. Both companies are still making money, to my chagrin, but whatever. So let's see, who do I have to send down? Alright, I have a list here of guys I could possibly send down. Okay. So I'm thinking we put this team out of order. I only put them together so they could get a big tag win on Fuel for the tag titles in January. That went well. So, Diamond Dallas Page. DDP is going to be sent down to developmental, not because he needs it, but just because we need stars down there for weekly shows and the like. He's not going to stay down there for long. He's probably going to stay until Ring Wars, so he's going to have a little run down there. Because he's booked for the pay-per-view for Ring Wars. I have a match for him. Which really, I don't really need to send him right now. It can wait. I'll accept him. I'll take DDP. I'll bring him down. He's a little upset, but that's okay, because he's over as hell. So DEP is going down just for the time being. He'll come back up soon. It's just so I can have him for Ring Wars because I don't have plans for DEP for the foreseeable future. He's got plans for... I got plans for him when the brand split comes into effect, and I have plans for him until Summer Showdown. Just right now it's in a little bit of an in-between period. Jeff and Matt Hardy. Like, yeah... I'll send Matt and Jeff down because they're not getting TV time. Saturday Night's Wrestling is not doing anything is inactive, so I might as well just send down the Hardys. I'll probably release a few guys as well from developmental because some of these guys are unnecessary. I'm not going to do anything with them anyway. So the Hardys, and I think those are the main guys that I wanted to send down. Who do I have in developmental that I can release? Art Bar I'm keeping. Baron Von Buchanan I could. He's just not good. But I'm going to keep all these guys and then I'll release after the Battle Royal. So until then, we're going to be done here. Thank you guys for watching this episode of GCW. Make sure to like if you like this video. Subscribe if you want more. We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.